A friend of mine bought these items in France. They date back to the 18th or 19th century. However, when we visited an antique dealer, he was unable to identify their origin. The handle is made of wood, and the metal components appear to be brass. It could possibly be an antique shell cracker for seafood. Any ideas? This is an elaborately designed tailor's iron intended to be heated and utilized for pressing under collars and sleeves. It comes in 3 different sizes to accommodate various types of clothing, with 2 of each size available, allowing one to be heated while the other is in use. Once cooled, the irons can be easily swapped without any waiting time. In contrast, traditional cast metal irons would only retain heat for a brief period, necessitating frequent reheating, which is why laundry rooms often contained entire stoves dedicated to heating multiple irons. I found an item in a box of glassware in South Louisiana. It is a metal object featuring a lip and a trap door, along with an attached holder that has side slots. The item weighs 1.5 pounds and measures 7 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches. The trap door can be swiveled using knobs on either side or by applying pressure to a plate. There are no identifying marks, and the item does not disassemble. I attempted to use Google image search, but was unable to find a match. In text searches yielded no relevant results. The item could date back to the late 1970s at the earliest, but it was found alongside items from the late 19th century. My initial impression was that it might be a banquet refuse bowl. However, I am uncertain how to open it, which raises concerns about its cleanliness for that purpose or as an ashtray. Additionally, the lip appears too large for a cigarette, and the holder seems capable of containing more than 20 cigarettes, which aligns with the standard for cigarette holders from 1931 onward. Any idea what this is made for? It's antique ashtray. You tilt the bottom when filled with ash to empty it. The back holder would have been for a box of matches, with the strike area of the box exposed. During a greenway cleanup alongside an urban stream, I discovered an object nestled in the bushes near the water. It features a metal handle protruding from it and is relatively heavy for its size, weighing approximately 40 pounds. The only possibility that comes to mind is that it may be an old axle of some kind. Any ideas? That's the remnant of a wagon wheel hub. The holes are where the spokes go. I found a metal object with German inscriptions on a track near my location in Portugal. It measures approximately 1 inch in diameter. Anyone know what this is? It's a trolley token that doubles as a tire tread depth gauge. 1.6 millimeters is minimum required tread depth on summer tires, and 4 millimeters is minimum required tread depth on winter tires. The side with GTU is a tire tread depth gauge. GTU stands for Gesellschaft für technische Überwachung, a German technical testing organization. Empfehlung translates to English as recommendation. I found it buried in the ground using a metal detector near some train tracks. It is approximately the size of a large hand, yet still quite heavy. I suspect it may be iron, although I am not certain. Any idea what it could be? It's an old stove door. I found ammunition with a peculiar, shiny tip on a glacier in Switzerland, possibly 30 millimeters in caliber. I am concerned about whether it is inert, as I was unable to identify any markings on it. I attempted to research 30 millimeter Swiss ammunition, but found no matches. A colleague of mine has it on display and would like to ascertain its safety. Any idea what it could be? This is a projectile from the 35 by 228 millimeter Oerlikon Flab Kun 63/90, same gun that is on the Flugabwehr Panzer Gepard. From the fact it has an aluminium dummy fuse, the large cutouts make it obvious there is not enough space for the fuse mechanism, and it looked like it was painted bluish-gray. That makes it an Übungsgranat, a target practice shot. Be advised that doesn't mean it's inert. I found a copper alloy object buried in our garden in southwestern Germany. It measures 55 millimeters in length and weighs 28 grams. The object is hollow on one end and has a closed top that resembles a pin mark. It does not have insulation or a hex head, indicating that it is unlikely to be a glow plug. Any ideas what this thing is? The size, the coarse threads, and the primer on picture 3 has been struck by a firing pin. Yell igniter for some kind of explosive ordnance. This is the specific piece sits between the firing pin and the igniter charge. In the full assembly, the igniter charge would rest on the lengthwise grooves inside a cardboard tube. The M2 mine had many variations and was widely used in World War II. A close friend of my deceased father, a retired military EOD specialist who served alongside him for a time, I sent him some pictures and discussed it over Zoom yesterday evening. He confirmed that the device is inert and harmless, with the sieve-like structure being only dirt. It's completely hollow inside. He also has a theory about how this part ended up in our garden. The house and garden are located in southwest Germany, near the Siegfried Line, or Westwall in German, close to an old artillery bunker site about 1 to 2 kilometers away. After the French occupied this area post-war, they demolished nearly all the bunkers, often filling them with unexploded ordnance or stockpiles they found before blowing them up. The debris scattered across a wide radius. While hiking in the nearby forest, you can still find large concrete parts hundreds of meters from the site. What is still unclear to me, why this piece shows a mark from the firing pin, yet is still in such good shape and missing other components. I found a cylinder in the Netherlands that can be lifted by a handle, which is affixed with wood. Furthermore, there is wood that seems to divide the interior of the cylinder. This cylinder has openings at both the top and bottom and stands at approximately 15 centimeters in height. Anyone know what this is? This is a cigarette dispenser. When the button is pressed, it opens up like a blooming onion and reveals a cigarette. This is an antique item. I acquired it from Goodwill as a decorative piece for my betta tank. It is green and features 3 side openings, along with one at the top. The item is quite heavy and has an inscription on the bottom that I am unable to decipher. The interior is completely smooth and lacks any additional features. I attempted a reverse image search and explored various images, but it has not yielded any helpful results. Any ideas what this thing is? This is cigarette or cigar holder to lay it down while lit. You rest lit cigarettes in the side openings and the smoke comes out of the chimney at the top.